Team has rested their case. Let's give you a live look inside the Fairfax County courtroom right now, where court is wrapping up week 3. This comes after hours of testimony by the man accused of killing his wife Christine and Joseph Ryan. But earlier this morning, the prosecution said they have a new witness that challenges some of what Brendan said yesterday. And joining us now is Katie Lusso, who has been watching every minute of this. So that's how we ended the day yesterday, with Brendan taking the stand. Continued into today, and we started with a bombshell right out of the gate. Prosecutors, the state, saying that they got it. Someone reached out to them saying that they had specific information that counters what Brendan testified.
Yeah, and that person was Patrick Smith, a special agent with the IRS, and he talked about how he was there to talk about how there was no meeting on the books that he was aware of. He was the acting supervisor during the time period of when the killings of Christine Banfield and Joseph Ryan happened, and he said there was no meeting on the books that he was aware of with Mr. Banfield. But of course, the defense came back up and was like, well, you were the acting supervisor. You were only there for 2 weeks. Were you part of the investigation? Were you part of the interviews? So a lot of back and forth there. Not sure how effective his testimony was, but he was that surprise witness that we had heard about.
And just to back up a little bit more context, Brendan had testified that the morning of the killings, he had gotten up a little earlier, that he had this big presentation, and a lot was riding on this because if it was a successful operation, it would mean a promotion, right? A senior special agent. He talked about, you know, spending the morning at McDonald's. So this was a large piece of his testimony.
It was. And, you know, John Carroll, who you see there on the screen, he was trying to push back and say, you made a comment about the way my client was dressed that day. You know, we saw Brendan dressed in jeans and casual clothing and sneakers, and he referred to that. So, but, you know, a lot happened today. So let's talk about some of the other things that happened, right? Brendan Banfield was on the stand for quite a while, and he testified to his side of the story, if you will. You know, he says there was never a plan. He was questioned by the prosecution. He testified with the defense, obviously on his side, asking him questions that were likely rehearsed and planned out. But then the prosecutors got up there and they peppered him with questions. Love you to take a listen to both some of the defense questioning and the prosecution questioning.
Did you have any sort of plan for what February 24th became?
No.
And why did you shoot John Ryan on February 24th?
He was attacking Christine. I mean, he was stabbing her. I mean, I wish I shot him earlier.
Worried that bad things are happening, correct?
Yes, I am.
Did you tell her to call 911 at that point?
No, I was moving quickly towards the door.
Did you tell her to go back downstairs and get your daughter out of the house at that point?
I wasn't worried about Juliana at that point. I was worried about Christine.
Okay, and you weren't worried about your daughter at that point either then, right?
I don't think it was on the top of my mind when I believed that Christine is being injured.
All right, so a lot there. His testimony was obviously a lot longer, and we have that full testimony up on our website, WUSA9.com. If it's not there right now, just check back. It'll be there again. Now, there is going to be court tomorrow, Annie. So there will be court again tomorrow. The prosecution and the defense have both rested their case, and we saw the prosecution bring up 2 of their rebuttal witnesses. So the judge has said that tomorrow they will do closing arguments. And, you know, Frank Salvato, our criminal defense attorney, who's a legal expert for us, he says this could get to the hands of the jury as early as tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, the fate is in the jury's hands. Katie Lusso, thank you. We have been taking you inside the courtroom since the trial began. As you heard Katie say, court resumes tomorrow. We will be there starting at 9:45 on WUSA 9+. Join us there. Court resumes at 10 a.m. Live coverage every moment of this trial. And there are several ways to stay connected and up to date on this case. You can watch all of our coverage streaming on WUSA 9+.